think that's the biggest confusion a lot of buyers have about the home shopping experience is getting that insurance while they're in escrow and figuring out what those payments are, and that's very important. And that's why people like you are so needed. Greetings, Red Tie community. It's the bald guy in the red tie, your favorite long-haired hippie, red tie hat wearing community show host of the Red Tie community, John Butler, the bald guy in the red tie, with a very special guest who's going to ensure a very good show today.
I love that. Very good.
You like that? That's all off the cuff. That's totally natural. I didn't even script that. Today we are with Mr. John Olson from American National Insurance Pacific. I totally butchered that, but what exactly is the company name there?
It's a really big, long, confusing name sometimes.
I call it ANPAC.
ANPAC, absolutely. American National Property and Casualty Company.
Woo!
A division of American National Insurance Company.
That's a mouthful.
It is a mouthful.
So we'll call it ANPAC.
ANPAC is perfect.
Here on out. Thanks for coming on the show, man.
Hey, my pleasure. It's always a good time.
Yeah, it's definitely fun. And so, ladies and gentlemen, when you're going through the escrow process and you're buying a home, guess what? Lenders want to make sure that home is insured, because if you burn it down, they want to make sure that their investment into your property is going to be covered.
Exactly.
So people like John Olson come onto the scene, and here's the deal. Just like real estate agents, there are thousands and thousands of insurance agents, and some of them are fantastic. Some of them are not so fantastic. Some insurance companies are fantastic, and some are not so much fantastic. So it's important that you know who the key players are. And in this area, I always like to refer my clients to you.
Well, thank you, and I appreciate it every time you do.
I know. It's pretty fun, because they're like, I don't know who to talk to. I'm like, just talk to John Olson. He'll walk you through it. And I think what I like most about your style of service is that if you are not the best match or fit for them, you'll tell them that.
Absolutely.
And, you know, a lot of salespeople, they're so desperate for the sale or for the commission or whatever that they'll be like, yeah, don't worry about it. And then they skip over all those details. And you flat out will tell them, like, hey, you know what? I don't think we're the best fit. On those rare occasions that you're not, but 99.9% of the time, you knock it out of the park.
Well, thank you. I try. You know, it's a big thing to protect a person's assets, and you don't want to have that claim happen and then find out, whoops, I didn't have the correct coverage, and I'm left holding the bag.
Right, because that bag is usually pretty big and pretty heavy, and it doesn't smell very good either.
Exactly.
Yeah, you don't want that. So did you just wake up one day and you're like, I'm going to be an insurance guru? Is that kind of how that process went?
The big answer in the industry is absolutely not. No, I didn't.
Right. Insurance found you. You didn't find insurance?
I made an educated choice, yes.
Okay. So how did that process work? How long have you been doing this for?
I got licensed in 1999, so my career spans 2 centuries.
I love that. That's a good way to put it.
There you go.
I was doing insurance before the century.
Yes.
That's nice.
2 millennia.
So what was the path that led you to it then?
Well, I looked for a business that would have residual income and that I could still help people.
Good.
And that would allow me flexibility. Before that, I was in the photography business and traveled a lot.
Yeah.
And that was not conducive to someday having children. So I looked at the different industries and my background. In college, I double majored in business and pre-med. And I thought, well, you know, I'll use the business route. So that's how I ended up in insurance.
Interesting. I always love the stories of how people find their calling. And I don't know if this is your calling, but you seem pretty darn good at it. You've been doing it for 19 years, so I figure you're sticking around for a couple more. Absolutely.
It's a good business to be in, a lot of flexibility, and helping people is a real big calling of mine.
Yeah.
And whether it's with their insurance or, you know, way back when medically, or with their financial future. You know, I'm an investment advisor as well and can serve people in all of their assets.
Nice. Well, you know, it's interesting that you say this whole medical thing, because I could totally see you being a doctor. You got the doctor look.
Well, thank you very much. I've worked hard on that. And you know, if you see my signature, it's the only thing that's stuck.
Yeah.
I write like a doctor still to this day.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. My mom used to say I should have been a doctor just because you can't read my chicken scratch.
Exactly.
But I call it art. That's what I call it. I call it art. But I think one thing that I was most impressive about you when I first met you was that we were in need of life insurance. And so my wife and I, you know, we're in our 30s and we have kids, and it was like, well, what happens if that day comes where the good Lord Almighty's like, John, we need you up here in heaven? I'm like, I know, but can I wait? And then he's, nope, you got to come up. So it's good to have life insurance in place. And so you really helped us with that. And but I will say that after I got the policy of a very big number, my wife keeps leaving her hairdryer suspiciously close to the sink.
In the bathtub?
She keeps telling me to take a bath with a toaster. I don't know. I'm kidding, honey. I'm kidding. But so do you have one product that you like doing most? I know you do auto, you do the life insurance, you do home insurance, but is there something that really kind of turns your gears or anything like that?
The one that people need.
Oh, good answer.
And it depends on what they need at that time. If they just need the auto or the home or the rental unit, the boat, motorcycle, jet ski, I can do all that normal daily stuff.
Yeah.
The life insurance, of which there are multiple types, or a 401k plan for their business, whatever they need at the time.
Very cool. Mm-hmm. Very cool. And but not only are you an amazing insurance guy,
well, thank you,
but you are also a great family man. And so I spent some time on your Facebook the other day, and I trolled your photos. And so Mr. Tyler the Tech is going to take us on a little trip down memory lane. And so, Tyler, if you could pull up a very beautiful lady of yours, not Tyler's, yours. Look at that pretty lady. So what's her name?
Her name
I know her name,
is
but
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth.
Yeah.
And so how did you meet?
We met at church, actually.
Cool.
I was the worship pastor at a church in San Marcos, and she walked in one day, and we just kind of clicked from the moment of, hi, I'm John.
Wow. So like literally the doors opened, and the doors were opened by doves and angels.
Exactly.
And then there was this like heavenly like, oh.
Yeah, harps, you name it, the whole 9 yards.
I would expect nothing less because I know Elizabeth, or I call her Beth, but she is very angelic.
She is. She's wonderful. I am very blessed.
So
I definitely married up.
Yeah, by a lot.
A lot, yes.
But she is one of the most sweetest people. And so I always like hearing people's origin story of how they met and things like that. And so that was in what, 2012?
January of 2012, yes.
And then you got married when?
April of 2015.
Wow, so long courtship.
Yeah, a couple of years. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good man. Yeah. And next on our list, let's go back before Elizabeth.
Okay.
Let's go back to when you, my friend, were a rock star.
Oh my, here we go.
Yeah, here we go. What's going on here?
Oh, yes. That was one of my first bands in high school. The guy in the white shirt, he was the drummer.
Okay.
The guy in the black shirt was my next door neighbor.
Okay.
And I actually taught him how to play bass because I didn't know anybody in town that played bass. So
right.
We needed a full band, so I taught the kid how to play.
Now, is this a different band right here?
It is. It's a different band. And
What era? I'm assuming 80s?
Absolutely 80s. Yeah, I'm an 80s guy.
Okay.
And this would have been in about 1984. I would have been like 14 or 15 there.
So what inspired the whole musical career?
Oh, gosh. Come from a musical family. My mom was a singer. My dad sings too. My mom did some girl group stuff back in the 50s, when the doo-wop stuff was big.
Really?
And so music kind of runs in the blood.
And are you from California?
No, originally from Minnesota.
Really?
I've worked very hard to get rid of my accent, so it probably pops out a little bit now and then.
I know.
Don't you know?
Yeah, that's the, yeah. Is that Fargo?
Fargo, oh yes,
movie?
wonderful movie. Yep.
Nice. So when did you come out here then?
I landed in California in 1998.
Oh, so you're there for a while.
Yeah, born and raised in Minnesota, lived in Kansas City for a while, Washington, D.C. for a while, Los Angeles, and San Diego, now here in Murrieta.
Wow. Mm-hmm. So you've kind of done the whole Southern California tour there.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Yeah.
So do you miss Minnesota? Do you miss the ice?
I miss the family,
Cool. So everybody's over there, and then you're the one that
most of
broke
the family's still in the Midwest, yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. So what kind of music was that? Is that punk rock, or is that like Van Halen kind of stuff?
That was hair band.
Hair?
Yeah,
really?
Yes, yeah. Poison, with the big hair, the eye makeup, all that stuff, leather, studs, chains, all that stuff. Poison, AC/DC, Van Halen, Ozzy Osbourne, all that stuff.
That is awesome. That's one thing I wish I had as a talent would be musical talent, because I admire people that could do that. And but you rocked it out, man.
Had fun. Yeah. Started playing clubs when I was about 14 years old, and toured when I was 20, 21 with a nationwide band, and a lot of fun.
That's so cool. And so do you still play?
I still play for fun right now. Yeah, I've taken some time off from music ministry.
Right.
I focus on the family, and still love strapping on the guitar and playing when I can.
But I've heard a rumor about you, and I need to tell the Red Tie community about this because it's actually a rumor that I'm a part of too.
Okay.
And there's a rumor that you have a love greater than Elizabeth, greater than rock and roll. We're talking about none other than bacon.
Absolutely. Yes. I've got a tear now.
A moment of silence for bacon.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, man. So you're a fellow baconer.
Absolutely.
We just lost all of our vegan viewers. They just like, I can't stand this guy now. He eats bacon.
Yes. Well, I'm unapologetic.
Because it's so delicious.
It is. It's the king of meats.
It truly is.
You wrap other meat in bacon, and it makes that meat better.
I love bacon. And the fact that you had that on your Facebook, I was like, I have to show this. I don't know why, but I think it's important.
It's wonderful. In fact, one of my Father's Day presents this past Sunday was a Bacon of the Month club. So every month now, I get a package of bacon at my doorstep.
That's a thing?
It is a thing. It's wonderful. Thank you, honey. I love you.
That's incredible. Wife, how come I don't get bacon every month? Kidding. But seriously, I married a vegetarian. So she doesn't eat any of my bacon, which is the good thing.
That's awesome. More bacon for you.
That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
So I leveraged that into an opportunity to win more bacon.
Thanks. Absolutely. Win-win.
I love that. So are there any changes that are coming up in the insurance industry that we need to be aware of?
Well, the auto insurance sector has taken a lot of pounding in the last few years, with vehicles such as the Teslas, the hybrids and things like that, the real high-tech cars that are coming out. It's increasing the claims payouts exponentially.
Because they're just so damn expensive to work on and fix and repair and replace?
New parts, unavailability of parts to repair. About a year ago, I had a client that got hit by another driver, and it totaled out his brand new Tesla X. And it took 6 months to get parts.
Oh,
so
geez.
Instead of fixing the car, we bought him a brand new one.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
That works. Well, and that's just, kudos to your company that they have that sort of a policy to take care of that.
Yeah, you want to get people back where they were,
That is cool. And so what do you think is the biggest mistake that people make about auto insurance?
Shopping on price. Yeah, there's always somebody that's going to be cheap.
Right.
There's 800 cut rates or www cheap whatever in any industry. But when you're talking about your financial protection, do you want to save $5 every month? Or do you want to be covered when you hit that other driver and now they're in the hospital and you're looking at a $150,000, $200,000 claim?
Right.
That's when it matters.
I always tell people there's a difference between cost and value.
Absolutely.
You might have a cheaper cost, but the value is going to be much cheaper as well. And so insurance is one of those things that you want to make sure you're fully covered for those moments, because we always kind of do, and I'm guilty of it too. You're like shopping on the insurance, like, oh man, I got to get a better price and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, if something goes down, I don't want to be stuck holding that bag.
Absolutely.
So,
and what kind of reputation does the carrier have? Do they have a 5-star claim rating satisfaction from their customers like we do? Or do they get a lot of complaints? You can look that stuff up on the Department of Insurance website and look at the complaint ratio for each company.
Nice.
So that's a big indicator.
That is. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that just recently I helped a client get in touch with you, and she was buying a new home, and most people are telling her kind of the high hundreds to the low thousands, if you will. Yeah. And what was the price that you got her on the new home for a year?
It was under $300.
Under $300. So if you're buying a brand new home, definitely make sure you talk to John Olson, because it doesn't get cheaper than that. And it's not that it was cheap. It was just you guys specialize in newer homes.
We give a really big discount for new construction because they tend to have less claims. So we factor that in.
That's cool. And so how long have you been with ANPAC?
About 16 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've been doing this for a while then under their umbrella.
Yeah, very familiar with the company, and if this company doesn't have it, I do have other outlets that can get other things. So.
Very cool. So you're a man of many ways.
I do. Yep. A lot of arrows in the quiver, so to speak.
So do you mostly get your business from real estate agents such as myself, or what's kind of like your marketing plan? Where do you have all your tentacles?
Mainly referrals, whether it's a real estate agent client or a real estate agent contact. Thankfully that you're both right now, my client and my contact.
Yeah.
And I network with probably 40 to 50 different real estate agents in Southern California from LA south. And also client referrals. I'm very blessed to have a lot of clients that like to pass on my name. Hopefully that means I'm doing a good job for them.
And that's why I passed you along, because you nailed it every single time.
Oh, thank you.
I've yet to have a complaint about you, so let's keep that record and streak going.
Oh, amen.
Well, very cool, man. So I just wanted to bring you on here today because you are a very important part of our community. And if people are looking for insurance, they definitely need to chat with you. And other than that, is there anything else you want to talk about today?
Oh gosh, just planning ahead. That's what the business is all about. Whether it's like the life insurance that you mentioned. You get life insurance when you're young and healthy, not when you're old and sick.
Good point.
Plan ahead.
And do you do health insurance or not?
I don't do health insurance by choice. That's
Okay.
one of the few things that I don't do. And it's such a specialized animal in today's society that I do have a business partner that I refer that to that does specifically only that and is very up on top of all the legal stuff and changes and everything. So I happily pass that part off.
Yeah, because it's a quick-moving beast, as they say.
It is. There are a lot of changes over the last 8-9 years, and there are more changes ahead. So
we'll see what happens.
See what happens, exactly.
Well, that's it for this episode of the Red Tie Community Show with Mr. John Olson. And if they want to get in contact with you, what's the best way to get in contact with you?
Phone number or email, 951-698-7755 at my office. And email is john.olson@american-national.com.
Very cool. Well, that's it for this episode of the Red Tie Community Show with John Olson and the bald guy in the red tie, saying see you in escrow. Bye.